5 o'clock shadow's probably starting to set in on my hairline. Should I have my hands like this or like this? Am I rambling too much? Cut. Can we stop there then? Bree, are you listening? Hi, my name is Andy Hoffman. I am chairman of the Team Jack Foundation.
This is a great way to start the night, and we are just so incredibly thankful. And we'd like to thank ESPN for helping Jack and our family help raise national awareness for pediatric brain cancer.
It's evolved into, what I think is a huge movement in this country to find a cure for pediatric brain cancer.
My job was to come up here and give a note of gratitude. And the problem with keeping it short is because there's so much gratitude to give because of all of the amazing people that support the Team Jack Foundation. The bottom line is this: your dollars are making an impact right now. And we're honored that we're going to take one step closer to beating this disease tonight. We've got therapies that are hitting the market right now that started in 2013 when we started as a result of a t-shirt sale in the state. And so we're making real strides, but it takes money, it takes lots of money. And that's at the end of the day, that's what we need to fight this disease.
Fight like mad. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. And just fight like mad. And don't lose hope. Hope gives us plenty of reason to live for.
In July 2020, Andy Hoffman, co-founder of the Team Jack Foundation, was diagnosed with a terminal brain tumor, glioblastoma. Months prior to his diagnosis, he wrote and completed his book, Yards After Contact, where 100% of the proceeds benefit Team Jack. Throughout his fight, he continued to advocate and make funding for childhood brain cancer research a priority. After fighting for 7 months, on March 1st, 2021, Andy lost his battle to brain cancer, but not without a fight. He did not stop fighting for himself or kids until the day he died. His hope was that his book would allow him to advocate beyond his life. For the Team Jack Foundation and its closest supporters, Andy's fight is the loudest rally cry yet. Now more than ever, we must band together to fight this disease and continue Andy's legacy. This program is dedicated to Andy Hoffman and will follow the narrative of his book, Yards After Contact. His book is the mission statement for the Team Jack Foundation, a Nebraskan business that tirelessly works daily to improve cancer treatment in its region and nationally fund child brain cancer research. We ask you to join with us in this fight against child brain cancer. The story began on April 22, 2011, when then 5-year-old Jack Hoffman suffered a life-threatening seizure, which led to an MRI that showed Jack had an inoperable brain tumor. Jack underwent 2 surgeries to remove what tumor they could. Prior to the second surgery, Jack wished to meet his favorite Husker, Rex Burkhead. This turned into something beyond just a meeting, and it all started with University of Nebraska's Keith Zimmer.
So we often get requests from individuals, families, organizations for our student athletes to help and make a difference. So it was not uncommon to receive an email from somebody like Andy asking if we could provide an experience to provide some relief, in this case for his son Jack. And prior to having that surgery, again, he wanted to do something to kind of redirect Jack and just provide a positive, memorable experience before this potentially traumatic, life-altering surgery for Jack and the family. I came back to Andy and said, how about coming down to Memorial Stadium, have a chance to get a VIP tour and maybe meet some of our players. And Andy mentioned that Rex Burkhead was one of Jack's favorites, and it would be really cool to have a chance to spend time with Rex. So that's what we did. I simply asked Rex if he would help. He was one of our model student athletes, one of our best ambassadors, happy to do it. And just with him saying yes, it really developed into an incredible friendship and relationship.
That day that I was able to meet him and his family was unbelievable. Just seeing the joy on his face, going around, seeing the trophies, all the pictures in the stadium, run out on the field. It was really a dream come true for him. And not only him, but seeing, his father as well, Andy, of course, a big Husker fan. And just seeing it all was, truly a special moment. And we hit it off from the get-go. So I knew Jack, had been diagnosed with a tumor, had surgery, but I didn't really know about the disease, and that, pediatric brain cancer was a rare disease. It wasn't very heavily funded. And that first day that we met put a spark in me to do whatever I could or help out to get awareness out there and the recognition that it needed to get more funding and better options for these kids. The memorable Ohio State game in 2011, was kind of the first recognition for Team Jack. I had a Team Jack bracelet that I was wearing during the game, and the TV broadcasters did a feature for them, and showed Jack and his family there at the game, and ended up being at the time the biggest comeback in school history. And I remember sitting there at halftime with some guys next to me, talking, hey, Jack wouldn't give up in this fight, why should we? And we went out there in the second half and just played unbelievable, fought till the end, came out with the victory. And it was just a great night for Team Jack. That's when it really started booming. The awareness, the recognition really took off, not only in the state of Nebraska, but across the country as well.
Nothing unites the state of Nebraska more than the University of Nebraska athletic programs, especially football. It's a language that's spoken in the Panhandle as well as it's spoken in southeast Nebraska and Falls City. And using that platform to raise money to solve problems like pediatric brain cancer is an absolute justified use of state and private resources. Well, I had known Andy just from practicing law. Him and I had a case or two together in the early days of our legal careers, and obviously he's somebody that has a lot of energy. I enjoyed talking to him, and we were actually talking about a case that we were on opposite sides of, and I got to talking to him about his son Jack, and he was telling me how pathetic funding for pediatric cancer research was in the United States and the world, and that he wanted to do something about it. And you've got this special connection between the university, Rex Burkhead, and your son. Is there something we can do? And I said, hey, if you want to talk about it, let's get together. And to my surprise, he's like, well, how does tomorrow work? And I was like, wow, yeah, I guess you are really serious about it. We sat down, we got talking about what we could do to get people excited about giving to a cause that would help find a cure or research pediatric brain cancer. And we ended up deciding, well, what if we could have like a Team Jack t-shirt?
So the timeline of, the very first Team Jack t-shirt, it was red in color, it had a goalpost on it, and a football, because that's a lot of Jack and the Hoffman family. The demand kept coming in. We'd started a Gmail email account, so we sold some more in June and sold about 75 more t-shirts and just shipped them out through the post office and filled orders. And along with those, the Team Jack wristband had come about as well, and it said Team Jack Pray on it. There was something there, and I think Andy and Bree could see, people were generally interested and wanted to support. And so that was just a shirt that, we just wanted to help in some way.
Yeah, I would say like
that was
on
the first
our
big
early Team Jack shirt, there was really no big moment where it's like It was just real trickle-in orders, family, maybe some Facebook stuff.
And it really didn't hit until the following spring was the run.
The run. And then the run triggered everything.
I was going to be in Lincoln in a couple of days, so I reached out to Tom Osborne, who was the athletic director at the University of Nebraska. And I basically went in and said, hey, you know the story about Jack. And I said, could we use the university's logo and basically sell a t-shirt supporting Team Jack and everything that it's about, and all the money would go to pediatric brain cancer research. And surprisingly, on the fly, Tom Osborne said, yeah, you can do this. And I called Andy, and that's all that guy needed. He heard that. And I bet you within 48 hours, he had the shirt designed. We met again in my office, and I said, we need to get every radio station in Nebraska pushing this shirt.
The plan then unfolded. The goal was to sell 10,000 t-shirts, a bold incentive. Mike Flood suggested finding an underwriter to cover all the printing costs, so all profits could benefit childhood brain cancer research. $30,000 was the magic number. They had raised $5,000. Andy and Brianna Hoffman then became the underwriter and took out a $25,000 personal loan to cover the initial printing costs.
They had two crews. One crew went to the west towards Alliance. The other crew went to the east, Omaha, Lincoln, and that area, and dispersed them. So yeah, that initial order took an entire enclosed trailer. And my father, who's very conservative, is watching this take place like, oh my goodness, what's this kid doing? He's putting his business on the line. He's putting everything on the line. And he told Dad. Dad saw him write out a check for $43,000. And Dad he said earlier today that he would have been more comfortable with like $4,000 worth. They traveled the entire summer, sitting at fairs, in the heat with tables and tents, and Jack and everybody's there as a family, and going to these small town events to sell shirts just to spread awareness. People don't realize how much effort they put in behind that too. 6,500
shirts and one enclosed 20-foot trailer. Andy had lit himself on fire. He needed to sell 6,500 shirts to break even. He did just that. On January 17th, 2013, the Hoffman family presented Dana Farber a check for $275,000 for child brain cancer research from the selling of over 20,000 Team Jack t-shirts. This success also led to the development of the Team Jack Foundation with the sole purpose to fund childhood brain cancer research and raise awareness for the disease.
The mission of Team Jack is really to solely fund childhood brain cancer research. However, we have a lot of families that will call Team Jack as a resource and ask if, we help families or support families in any way. And although we don't support families monetarily, we have started this group called the Team Jack Family, which is families all across Nebraska who have all different types of brain tumors or have a child with a different type of brain tumor, or maybe they've lost a child or been through brain cancer, and their child, has survived the disease. And so for us, it was important to establish this because when their mom or their dad or their aunt or whoever it may be calls, it's hard for us to say, listen, we know what you're going through and we can imagine, because we can't, because I don't have a child with brain cancer. And so, it's important for us to connect them with other families and say, so-and-so has also been through this same experience, and then they'll connect and they'll just act as a support, group for each other. Our families really are our best advocates, and they help us with our, radiothon. They attend the gala every year, and not only that, but they host their own events, and they raise a lot of money for Team Jack. And so we're pretty proud of our Team Jack family, and we've gotten so close with these families that they really are like our family, and I think all of them really feel like the people in the group are their family too.
I've been doing this now for more than 50 years, and I've never walked away from a job where I wasn't proud of it. You have to do great work.
They control the process since they're a manufacturer, fabricator, and an installer, which is different than a lot of their competitors.
It's happened on multiple occasions where everybody else said, you can't do this, and Glass Solutions said, yeah, we have a solution for that. The precision that they're able to work at is really remarkable. You don't see that very often.
If you hire GSI, they will do whatever it takes to make sure your job gets done.
Thank you to Selden Trucking for being a proud sponsor of this program.
Born for the good times. Inspired by a get-out-and-do lifestyle. Raised beneath big blue skies and the windmills of Sand Hills, Nebraska. Our hand-built copper mugs are a testament to doing things the right way. Gather around. Slow down with friends. Raise a mug and soak up the good life.
The chances are, one day, a child that you know will be diagnosed with a brain tumor. But the battle to end childhood brain cancer remains grossly underfunded, and treatment options are severely outdated. We need your help now. The solution is you. You can donate today and help us fight to find a cure. Call 855-RUN-JACK or visit teamjackfoundation.org to help us today.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Remember when we were little?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I needed you, poof, you appeared.
Like magic?
Yeah. When I had cancer, same thing.
What do you mean?
Well, Nebraska medicine was amazing. Treating my cancer based on my own DNA.
Pretty amazing.
But you did the magic part.
Like what?
Exactly what you're doing now.
For Nebraska's only NCI-designated cancer center, begin with Nebraska Medicine.
Over the course of the following years, the foundation would grow to meet more families, some who had children newly diagnosed, some who have been fighting, others who have lost children to the battle. They became family. They advocate for the disease. They raised money for the disease. And more importantly, they supported each other. One of these families is that of Cole Christensen. Cole was born in 2009 and at 15 months old, diagnosed with a very rare brain tumor. His family fought hard and will continue to fight alongside Team Jack.
Hey, Cole. Okay, now you look at Papa and you wink. Wink at Papa.
Cole was a happy kid, and
He loved everybody, and he loved to entertain.
Thank you, Grandma.
Grandma is here. Loved to give hugs.
He was very playful.
Loved to make others laugh.
Say it again.
We're the Christensens, Chris, Amy, and Lexi, and we're here to talk about our son, Cole.
Chicka, 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 chicka. Yeah, and he went from being happy all the time to all of a sudden just inconsolable. You know, we could tell he was in pain, but he couldn't tell us what was wrong.
They thought he had an ear infection at first. He was just kind of inconsolable, fussy, crying.
that night after the scan, about a half hour, 45 minutes later, they came in and told us there was a mass in his brain. And there's nothing to prepare you for that.
Yeah.
It stops you in your tracks. You don't have anything else to think about. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, it's devastating. The tumor that he had, ependymoma, it grows kind of like fingers, and it was around his brainstem.
There was so much tumor in there and growth that it pretty much smashed his brain to one side of his head, and the other side was all tumor.
They were able to get all the tumor that they could see, and then radiation to to kill anything that was left.
Yeah, there was no treatment option. With that type of tumor, it was remove it and radiate it and wait and see. And they were telling us on the spot that this will come back at some point. He gets to a point where he's able to start walking on his own. He's eating through his mouth, not just through a feeding tube. It was great.
Well, at the time, we thought it was a miracle.
Yeah.
We were so happy. Cole had some deficits, but he kept overcoming them, and he kept on fighting. And
we were in high spirits.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then we got on a plane, went to Memphis, successful surgery. It was great that they were able to remove it all.
Are you showing your owie? Yeah. I see you.
I would say about 6 months later, routine scan again. Dr. Abramowitz came to talk to us about it. It was, I think, probably the worst day of my life, other than being told that your child has cancer. But when she's telling us that there are no other treatment options available, it was devastating.
Throughout all of his journey, there weren't treatments for his type of cancer, so we never had to make choices. When they took him for his first brain surgery, and they're taking him down the hall, we decided then that it was more important for us for him to have quality of life. And now here we are being told we can give him chemo and put him through that, and he'll be around longer. Or we can make him comfortable, give him steroids. That was the first time we had to make a choice. But we didn't want to make him suffer just so we could have him longer.
Mm-hmm. So this was in August, and Cole passed away December 18th of 2012.
I guess we were the first ones to post a picture of a child going through brain cancer with a Team Jack shirt on Facebook. And then the first Uplifting Athletes 5K, I went over and found Andy and introduced myself. And I just said, hey, I'm Cole Christensen's dad. And as soon as I said that, he started crying. I mean, he's such a pure person. And he just, you could tell that he cared. Having never met our son, he cared.
So we became, one of the Team Jack families, and they welcomed us, and it was amazing to have that support.
We still get to keep fighting in honor of Cole.
I mean, Team Jack just put a ton of awareness on pediatric brain cancer that was not there before.
When I think of the government only giving 4% to pediatric cancers, I remember growing up and every politician would say the children are our future. Why are we not investing in them? Why are we not looking for better options for them?
It's horrible and so unfair. Unfair for all the families that are fighting right now, and unfair for all the families that it hasn't happened yet, It's really hard. I have a really good friend that has a son that's just about his age, and every time I see him, I think about what Cole would look like, what he'd be doing now. It's very hard.
Every time he would go in for a brain surgery, they would tell us that there was a high chance that he might not make it through it. And so there was one day where it was just me and Cole, and I got out my phone and started having him say things and just record him. If I'm having a bad day, play it.
I really don't much that.
Hi, this is Jim Baldonado from the Home Agency. My family and the Home Agency are dedicated to helping Team Jack in the fight against child brain cancer and are honored to be the Team Jack Gala Spotlight Story sponsor for the 5th straight year. This year's story features Cole Christensen from Lincoln, Nebraska, who passed away in 2012 from brain cancer at just 3 years old. Research funding is so badly needed so more effective and kinder treatments can be developed. Join with us in the fight by making a donation today to teamjackfoundation.org.
When consumers are looking for Piedmontese beef, whether it be online or at their local grocer, we're the only producer that can really offer it to them.
My first Piedmontese eating experience, I tell people, is the most enjoyable eating experience I had.
It's more than a story just about where this breed came from or how we raised this breed in Nebraska. It's our complete story. I mean, we're talking about a centuries-old Italian heritage breed. We've taken that breed and really perfected the way we raise it here in Nebraska.
You've worked your entire life for this. Through the ups and downs, you've stood strong, building a legacy to be proud of. With all good things in this world, there are still risks. It's a part of life. You need protection you can count on. We're not just here to insure your equipment, your vehicles, or your home. We're here to protect everything you've built. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
There are a lot of reasons you might need temporary staff. Employee vacations, leaves of absence, maternity leave, and we know that your facility's needs may vary with census fluctuations and staff instability. We've got your solution. We can make a nurse, therapist, or even lab professional appear at the snap of our fingers. Well, not quite that easy. We've never snapped our fingers and had a Ferrari, yacht, or even a margarita appear out of thin air. But we have the next best thing. Talented healthcare professionals who are ready to work right now. So, staffing worries are a thing of the past. We hope that snapping our fingers and stuff appearing is a thing of the future. But we're not holding our breath.
Thank you to Great Western Bank for being a proud sponsor of this program.
Hello to everyone at Team Jack. We all remember Jack Hoffman's 69-yard touchdown run during the 2013 Nebraska spring game. It wasn't a win for the red or the white, but a win for kids fighting brain cancer. The Team Jack Foundation funds childhood brain cancer research for better treatments and hopefully one day a cure. We were all saddened by the passing of Team Jack founder Andy Hoffman. Now is the time to honor Andy, Jack, and the Hoffman family by continuing to be a part of the fight against childhood brain cancer. Do this by supporting Team Jack. To learn more, visit teamjackfoundation.org. Go Big Red.
The Cast Iron Bar and Grill is located along Highway 20 in Stuart, Nebraska, and proudly owned and operated by Dustin Tilke. They offer burgers, steaks, and much more, including ice cream. In addition to a full-service restaurant, they have a Husker-themed bar and meeting space available. They also do catering for weddings and special events. Hours of operation are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 9 p.m., and they now have a drive-through window for easy curbside service. Stop in and see the crew at Cast Iron today.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Nebraska quarterback Adrian Martinez, and I want to encourage you to register for the 2021 Nebraska Football Road Race to benefit pediatric brain cancer. This year, we will not only be racing to find a cure for brain cancer, but also honoring our late friend Andy Hoffman. To register for the Nebraska Football Road Race, simply go to huskers.com/road race. I look forward to seeing you just outside Memorial Stadium on Sunday morning, June 20th. Go Big Red.
Applied Connective is a tech company passionate about people, about connection, and about helping to amplify work that matters. It's been a privilege to partner with the world changers at Team Jack since they began in 2012, and to play a small part in helping to advance their incredible mission by providing technology and IT support. In fact, support is something they can always count on from us. Now and always, we're proud to support Team Jack.
The solution is you. You can donate today and help find the cure.
Meeting families also affected by brain cancer only pushed those at the Team Jack Foundation harder to do more. Their focus was simple: raise as much money as possible, as fast as possible, and get it in the hands of the best researchers. A large part of raising this money started with bringing awareness to childhood brain cancer, which affects 4,600 kids annually, therefore considered a rare disease. Andy and his family used every opportunity possible to bring awareness to the disease, including one that has now been viewed nearly 9 million times: The Run.
3, 2, 1.
Wearing the number 22, guys.
We're very excited to do this, and we didn't really know what to expect, and because we never practiced the play beforehand, or we drew up the play on the sidelines. And when we drew up the play on the sidelines, we just ended up kind of just going for it. And so I remember kind of running out onto the football field with Jack. I'm trying to get him lined up. And as I'm getting him lined up, he's set to go. And I just remember you could hear the crowd just kind of getting ready to erupt. And I remember clapping to snap the ball, because that's what we did back with Coach Beck. So I remember snapping and catching the ball. I handed it to Jack, and then Jack went the wrong way. I was like, oh no, we have a pulling guard coming to our right. And so I kind of guided him back to around the corner and kind of helped him burst into a full-on sprint, and just everything that our offensive players did, our defensive players did, both sidelines did, our coaches, and it was just amazing being able to watch him from just behind just score the 69-yard touchdown, and it was just incredible. And like I said before, we never practiced this play before, and I thought we all executed it perfectly. It was so genuine just to see everyone kind of just both sidelines ran onto the football field at the same time, and just to be part of that moment, it was just indescribable. And it's a moment that I'll never forget, and I'm sure everyone that was part of it watched the video. Every single time I tell someone about Jack or Team Jack, and they all have said that just a wave of emotion have came to them, and yeah, just to be part of it was just incredible.
We weren't thinking about national attention or anything else when we did it. It was, we were just trying to do something good for a young man and his family, and the way it blew up, I was shocked. I mean, by the time I got home that night, it was all over TV and ESPN, and ended up being a blessing because of everything it did for the cause and for the foundation, and it couldn't have worked out any better. Kind of jump-started the mission for the Hoffman family and everything that they were trying to accomplish. And so, I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better, but no, I would never have guessed that it was going to blow up the way it did.
Hello to everyone at Team Jack. We all remember Jack Hoffman's 69-yard touchdown run during the 2013 Nebraska spring game. It wasn't a win for the red or the white, but a win for kids fighting brain cancer. The Team Jack Foundation funds childhood brain cancer research for better treatments and hopefully one day a cure. We were all saddened by the passing of Team Jack founder Andy Hoffman. Now is the time to honor Andy, Jack, and the Hoffman family by continuing to be a part of the fight against childhood brain cancer. Do this by supporting Team Jack. To learn more, visit teamjackfoundation.org. Go Big Red.
So to date, the Team Jack Foundation has raised over $8.4 million solely for pediatric brain cancer research. We're funding 9 projects nationally. We've really made a priority for our Nebraska kids with the development of a brain tumor program at UNMC and Children's Hospital, but that doesn't mean we're not going to stop funding national research. And so, the goal really is to fund research that will help find better treatments for kids. Right now, treatments are 30 plus years old, and a lot of the treatments actually are, an adult with cancer will have the same treatment as a 8-month-old baby. And so children are not adults and they need specialized treatments. And so that's really a goal of ours, is to find kinder, better treatments.
So right now nationally, we have 3 big projects going on. One is out of Chicago. Dr. Plant is doing a DIPG project. It stands for diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma. And this unfortunately has a 0% survival rate right now, which is unacceptable. And so this project that she has going on is for a new treatment. We have $150,000 going towards a project out of Sloan Kettering in New York City. The lead investigator for that project is Dr. Phillips. This has to do with getting the treatment to the cancer through the blood-brain barrier. And just, to kind of dummy things down just a little bit, that's the big hiccup when it comes to pediatric brain cancer, is getting through the blood-brain barrier. There's a barrier there for a reason, because, our brains, that's where all of, everything happens, right? And sometimes when we want something to get through that we really want to get through, it's tough. And then the third national project that we are working on right now and continue to work on over the last several years. It started as the MEK 162/TAC 580 project, and now it's more focused on TAC 580.
It's actually with their support that we have managed to run this trial. I think without them, it's not a trial that would have gotten off the ground.
Day One Pharmaceuticals, which is a new pharmaceutical company, bought the rights to TAC 580, which is huge, because now we have the gumption to push this through to the FDA level. And the FDA level is the final stage. Once that approval's there, then this drug can go out everywhere, can go international, national, and it is such an awesome precision medicine-based treatment. It's 1 pill a week, directed at a specific genetic marker on a tumor. So it means kids aren't sick or minimally sick, and it's a pill.
We often take drugs from the adult world that maybe have potential utility in adults, and we see a signal and we try to then translate it to children. But we all know that children are not small adults. And so I think the ideal thing about this particular drug is that it was developed for a pediatric indication, and we're actually moving it at a relatively fast pace into the clinic to reach patients and making a difference. In 77 years, they've only come up with about 3 drugs for pediatric indications. Adult studies, in 7 years, they've come up with 77 drugs. To make those efforts and do the fundraising that really helps us push the drugs forward really has been a lot of the advancement in pediatric clinical trials. It's actually not what necessarily comes from drug companies or funding sources in terms of grants. It's more the parents who start these kind of groups and organizations to raise funds.
Hi, I'm Rex Burkhead. On football Saturdays, a portion of sales at DJ's Dugout are donated to the Team Jack Foundation for pediatric brain cancer research. Thank you to DJ's Dugout Sports Bar for supporting Team Jack.
My father started our firm in 1971. We started as a small bookkeeping firm doing individual tax return preparation. I think the most important thing that we offer is a great relationship with our client. There are many ways to present financial statements, there's many ways to do tax returns, but really we're the trusted advisor of our client. And our clients really lean on us heavily when it comes time to make decisions. We have some clients that go so far as they won't make any serious decisions until they run it by us first.
We are Firespring. We provide marketing, printing, and websites for organizations big and small. Our website management tool helps thousands of nonprofits grow their impact. Our full-service print shop creates endless print possibilities. Maximize your mission with our expert strategy and see our creative marketing team bring that strategy to life. As Nebraska's first certified B Corp, we always leverage our resources to do more good. Visit firespring.com to learn more or get a personalized website demo today.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Nebraska quarterback Adrian Martinez, and I want to encourage you to register for the 2021 Nebraska Football Road Race to benefit pediatric brain cancer. This year, we will not only be racing to find a cure for brain cancer, but also honoring our late friend Andy Hoffman. To register for the Nebraska Football Road Race, simply go to huskers.com/road race. I look forward to seeing you just outside Memorial Stadium on Sunday morning, June 20th. Go Big Red.
The solution is you. You can donate today and help find the cure.
Thank you to Selden Trucking for being a proud sponsor of this program.
When consumers are looking for Piedmontese beef, whether it be online or at their local grocer, we're the only producer that can really offer it to them.
My first Piedmontese eating experience, I tell people, is the most enjoyable eating experience I had.
It's more than a story just about where this breed came from or how we raised this breed in Nebraska. It's our complete story. I mean, we're talking about a centuries-old Italian heritage breed. We've taken that breed and really perfected the way we raise it here in Nebraska.
Thank you to Westerkamp Group LLC for being a proud sponsor of this program.
Hi, this is Jim Baldonado from the Home Agency. My family and the Home Agency are dedicated to helping Team Jack in the fight against child brain cancer and are honored to be the Team Jack Gala Spotlight Story sponsor for the 5th straight year. This year's story features Cole Christensen from Lincoln, Nebraska, who passed away in 2012 from brain cancer at just 3 years old. Research funding is so badly needed so more effective and kinder treatments can be developed. Join with us in the fight by making a donation today to teamjackfoundation.org.
As the Team Jack Foundation movement started in 2012 and the Team Jack family became larger and larger, it became evident that not all families have the financial resources to be able to pursue the best treatments in the world. Not all families could jump on an airplane for treatments and surgeries. By 2014, the foundation began hearing more and more stories from the front lines. In 2015, with the help of a local state legislator, Andy Hoffman proposed a bill to the state legislature. The bill would provide $1.5 million to brain cancer research funding if there was a private match by the Team Jack Foundation. Well, in 2018, another $5 million was pledged to this same program, totaling a $6.5 million commitment from Team Jack to develop a brain tumor program in Nebraska.
I think the Children's Brain Tumor Program is incredibly important because pediatric brain tumors need to be looked at a little differently than other pediatric cancers. In Nebraska, we have an issue with pediatric brain tumors. We are constantly at the upper end of the list in the United States for the incidence of pediatric cancer. So that's what makes the program so incredibly important. The treatment of pediatric brain tumors generally involves toxic chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and surgical resection. And in that regard, there can be a lot of collateral damage to normal tissues. So if you think about a young child between the ages of 2 and 5, and you do all of those things to their growing brain, then they have to try to figure out how to learn skills that they might have lost, whether those skills involve movement, speech, hearing, any of the senses. So not only do we need new therapies that don't have those toxicities, we also need to know how to support patients who are receiving our existing therapies. What are the things that we
we can do to make those skills and relearning those skills a process that's a little easier. Through Team Jack Resources, we've been able to recruit a neurosurgeon who has focused on pediatric brain tumors throughout his entire career. Somebody like that is going to be highly sought out throughout the United States. And so something like Team Jack that shows that there is the community involvement, that there is the support, that there is the passion of people behind his efforts, it's only going to make it easier to recruit him to the team. Along with that, then comes the recruitment of a neuro-oncologist, the person who's going to sort of guide the therapy throughout the entire team. All of those pieces, those can all be brought to bear if the resources are available. And so Team Jack sharing those resources makes the recruitment of those types of experts achievable. It's always incredibly rewarding to me when the community is as passionate about the care that our fellow kids get that I am. Because I'm incredibly passionate about what I do. Everybody who works within the Pediatric Hematology Oncology Division is incredibly passionate about what they do. But then you can't help but be inspired to work harder and strive for more when you see an entity like Team Jack that has inspired so many people in the community, so many donors, so many people to raise awareness who all want to be on the team. And to see that type of conviction from not only a foundation, but the people who work within that foundation just makes all of us want to do our jobs even better. You know, when we think about the legacy that Andy Hoffman left us, there's a legacy of faith, there's a legacy of family, but there's a legacy of advocacy, of understanding that one man, one family can make a difference by going to the legislature and talking to people and helping them to understand that this is a problem that we need to focus on in Nebraska. Because I think oftentimes cancer can be an isolating experience for a family. It is definitively an isolating experience for a child. And I think the knowledge that you have this massive amount of people behind you that are supporting you as you go through this journey, I think that would fill people with a lot of hope. And that's what my hope would be for our program.
So Team Jack has done something incredible as a foundation. They have brought together researchers from across the United States in a singular fight against brain tumors. Started with a focus on medulloblastoma, but it's branching out. Researchers in Boston and in Texas, they actually have trials going on with respect to how they're treating brain tumors. Researchers at the University of Nebraska Medical Center now have multiple new projects on things like FDA repurposing drugs or defining mechanisms in the group 3 medulloblastomas. You can see how Team Jack has used its funding mechanisms to build a team. That's what they're really good at. And by doing that, they have not just established from their grassroots effort centers of excellence or developing centers of excellence at their home institution and in their home state, but they have done that nationally. It's just a matter of time before their return on investment leads to international news. And Team Jack is going to be called one of the premier foundations across the world that has taken a decisive step in fighting brain tumors. And it's not just the money. It's their advocacy. It's the radiothons. It's the presence at football games. And it's the fact that Nebraskans identify Team Jack as something that is inherent to them. They know Team Jack. And so by us partnering with Team Jack, or Team Jack partnering with us, we're invigorating, improving, empowering our efforts to take it to the next level. Plus, we understand the seriousness of this trust that's placed upon us. We would never take any such collaboration lightly. But when it comes to Team Jack, we know that all Nebraskans are counting on us to do the best that we can do. And not just that, all Americans are counting on us to do the best we can do. And not just that, most importantly, children, without knowing it, are counting on us. You put this together, and you see how and why Team Jack is going to be a force to reckon with, not just locally, but nationally and internationally. And as I said, in the next 3 to 5 years, we're going to be seeing some major breakthroughs that Nebraska is going to be front and center on because of Team Jack's efforts. So, I mean, all I can say is I am just completely indebted to their trust in me and to investigators like myself, because they're helping us do what we love to do, and they're helping us help children. And that's the bottom line.
Twice the fight was literally taken out of Andy Hoffman's playbook. I was driving to our warehouse for a quarterly meeting. On the way to the warehouse, tears were streaming. I was angry. I couldn't get the Hoffmans off my mind. As I got into the meeting and tried to get up there and prepare myself, the agenda went out the window. And I looked at my husband, Mark, and said, I got it. We're going to buy t-shirts. We're going to print t-shirts. We're going to sell t-shirts in Andy's honor. He did it 10 years ago for his son, Jack, which got awareness out there. And the only way to sometimes stop the tears is to be aggressive and do something that you can do.
I think more precisely, I think Karen's instructions were, we're gonna do this by 5 o'clock today. As I was driving back to the office, a couple thoughts just kept on, kind of going through my mind. And it was just the struggle that the Hoffmans were going to be, faced with again. How can one family be put to the test twice? I was balancing that with the thought of Andy. And I thought, there's nobody who's going to fight harder against this cancer than Andy Hoffman. These words just kept on rolling around in my head, and all of a sudden I was like, it's twice the fight. I mean, they're fighting it twice, but they're gonna fight it twice as hard. Kind of looking back on it now, I think it really is more of a message to us today and to everybody watching this that there's still a lot of work to be done, and we've got to double down. We've got to fight even harder to really fight this scourge that is pediatric brain cancer.
Our family and the Fat Brain Toys family embraced Team Jack from almost the beginning. We got to meet some of these children. They weren't statistics. We got to meet Bella, we got to meet Emma, we got to meet Nick, and sadly some of these kids aren't with us today, and some luckily have overcome. When we got to know these families and we've seen the archaic medical treatments and how hard it was to just find the right doctor and to travel across the country, and we're like, where's the funding? Where is the correct medical? Why is it so brutal on these kids? And it spoke to our hearts. We look at our own kids and thought, we got to do better. And this foundation does some amazing things. From the breath of Andy we open doors, we knock down doors, we create opportunities, we negotiate, we do whatever we have to do. There was no, that's not gonna be achievable, let's make it happen. And that's what inspired us. That's how kind of we run our lives, and it spoke volumes when we got involved with Team Jack.
The chances are, one day, a child that you know will be diagnosed with a brain tumor. But the battle to end childhood brain cancer remains grossly underfunded, and treatment options are severely outdated. We need your help now. The solution is you. You can donate today and help us fight to find a cure. Call 855-RUN-JACK or visit teamjackfoundation.org to help us today.
Teammate of the Year Award is granted to an individual each year who epitomizes the mission of the Team Jack Foundation. In 2019, Karen and I were actually granted this award, and honestly, it was one of the greatest personal achievements that we've ever been given.
It's with great honor to present this year's Teammate of the Year Award to Andy and Brianna Hoffman and their entire family. They have given up so much of their time, their energy, to make things better, raised over $8 million by starting this foundation. And again, rest assured, we will continue the fight for pediatric brain cancer and work even harder on Andy and their family's behalf.
I've been doing this now for more than 50 years, and I've never walked away from a job where I wasn't proud of it. you have to do great work.
They control the process since they're a manufacturer, fabricator, and an installer, which is different than a lot of their competitors.
It's happened on multiple occasions where everybody else said, you can't do this, and Glass Solutions said, yeah, we have a solution for that. The precision that they're able to work at is really remarkable. You don't see that very often.
If you hire GSI, they will do whatever it takes to make sure your job gets done.
You've worked your entire life for this. Through the ups and downs, you've stood strong, building a legacy to be proud of. With all good things in this world, there are still risks. It's a part of life. You need protection you can count on. We're not just here to insure your equipment, your vehicles, or your home. We're here to protect everything you've built. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Hi, this is Jim Baldonado from the Home Agency. My family and the Home Agency are dedicated to helping Team Jack in the fight against child brain cancer and are honored to be the Team Jack Gala Spotlight Story sponsor for the 5th straight year. This year's story features Cole Christensen from Lincoln, Nebraska, who passed away in 2012 from brain cancer at just 3 years old. Research funding is so badly needed so more effective and kinder treatments can be developed. Join with us in the fight by making a donation today to teamjackfoundation.org.
Thank you to Smile Station Pediatric Dentistry for being a proud sponsor of this program.
The solution is you. You can donate today and help find the cure.
Hear the disheartened. See the hurdles and barriers, the complex, the impossible. Then choose instead to follow the dreamers. Challenge what could be and what should be, letting science and heart lead us to even greater breakthroughs to improve the life of every child. When children are your everything, anything can be.
This is home. I love the people here. One of the greatest things about our clinic is that we are a big family. Everybody feels close to one another, and I feel like that spills over to our patients.
The battle to end childhood brain cancer is grossly underfunded. Treatments remain outdated. Kids right here in Nebraska are dying. Passion is the fuel that keeps you going. Imagine if we all had the same passion Andy and his family had. The mission of Team Jack is stronger than ever. They have accomplished a lot, but much more needs to be done. We need your help now. You can be the difference in the fight against child brain cancer. Donate today and help us fight for a cure.
Chances are one day a child close to you will be diagnosed with a brain tumor.
It is our hope that if and when that happens, that child doesn't
have to go through 8 courses of treatment,
go through 6 rounds of chemotherapy,
face multiple bone marrow transplants,
lose the ability to walk and talk, take growth hormones.
Our hope is that this child survives and thrives.
It is our hope that these kids who are fighting this awful disease find hope in a hopeless situation.
The solution is you.
You can provide the hope that these families so desperately need.
You can help carry the torch to a brighter tomorrow for improved treatments and one day a cure. You can make a difference right here in Nebraska and beyond.
By investing in our children.
You can donate today and help fund the cure. Call 855-RUN-JACK or visit www.teamjackfoundation.org to donate today. And go Huskers.
You can donate today and help fund the cure.
You can donate today and help fund the cure.
You can donate today and help fund the cure.
You can donate today and help find a cure.
You can donate today
and help fund the cure.
You can donate today and help fund the cure.